So I've been sitting here in front of the fire in that chair right there and just looking at the, I got this hat on. It's important. This is an important video. You got the red hat. We got it. And I changed my top, so that's fine too. There is a big secret that's being unveiled. And it really is. It may not be that big of a secret to some, but to some, the secret goes really far back. It really does. And it affects me. It affects you. It more or less affects people in many, many parts of the world, you all, it does. So you talk about your credit score. Gina, well, you talking about our credit score. Well, you know the credit score, everybody's got a credit rating. You can't get a loan and stuff. If you got a bad credit score, your loan is going to be, you're going to pay higher interest rate. You are. Okay, the credit score. And it goes up to 900 points. It goes up to 900 points now, you all. But somebody made a comment on one of the videos, and I screenshotted it. I think I screenshotted it on here. And I thought, okay. Yeah. So it came under this video when I was asking Bing, Microsoft Bing, which I'm not going to play that game no more. They're going to pay you 100 points toward whatever. But the word that was said, a social credit score, points to your social credit score. But I checked it out, and I don't know what it was for. But then I thought, okay, social credit. And then I thought, well, the only place I know of that has a social credit score, what they talk about, whoever they are, that we can find is, do we have a social credit system? And we do. So we have a FICO score. Introduced in 1989, the first broad-based consumer credit score, the FICO score changed the lending landscape for good. Previously, there was no standard system based on credit bureau data. Hence, there was a lot of paperwork to get a credit card or a loan. Okay, yeah. So, and just get a little background, about credit worthiness and stuff like that. 900 is the highest scoring models, but this number isn't always possible. Only 1% of the population can achieve an 850. So, okay, so we got that. Is America the only country that uses it? Well, do other countries have credit scores? Yes, they do. Besides the United States, assessments of credit worthiness, however, can differ across the globe, and you may be surprised by someone's credit worthiness, how it's determined. So 1989 is when it first came into being. But the social credit system is an extension of the risk assessment credit rating systems that were introduced in China in the 1980s. Proponents argue that it will eliminate problems such as food safety issues, intellectual property theft, violation of labor law, financial infidelity, and counterfeit goods. So you're talking about, is China's credit score real? Is it real? Such a score simply doesn't exist, yet may still persist. Okay, so I go down here. How do I increase my social credit? Exercise your privileges at every opportunity. Take a better job. Fly first class, associate with high scores, enroll your kids in better schools. Every privilege you successfully exercise will help cement the fact that you belong. After all, social credit is self-reinforcing. I don't know where that came from, you all. So this is the thing. It appears as if this social stuff originated around the same timestamp in areas of the world, really. In areas of the world. But as I got to reading more, social credit tech is coming. 5 ways for U.S. entrepreneurs to capitalize In the mid, how many kids can you have? Okay, we're talking about this. So your social credit, you all, it applies to a lot of things. Look, what is the new credit system in China? The Xingzheng system, first released in public in 2006, it's significantly updated in 2020. They updated it in 2020. Is essentially the Chinese equivalent of the American credit bureau scoring systems and is maintained by the country's central bank. So the central bank in the United States, now it's the one who, determines, it always has been, whether or not we're worthy of anything. Okay, look, this is the thing with China. China's credit system. How China's credit system actually works, it's probably not. What happens if you run out of a social credit? Punishment for poor social credit includes increased audits and government inspections for businesses, reduced employment prospects, travel bans, exclusion from private schools, slow internet connection, exclusion from high prestige work, exclusion from hotels, and you get public shame. It's like, wow. You could say that in a way it's happening in the United States. They check your credit score. They do. When you get a job, they run a full credit report on you. And depending on where you want to work, if your credit is not high enough, you're out the door. You're out the door. And true, it is an extension. It all started in the 80s, you all. They first introduced it in the 80s, just like in China, more or less. In China in the 80s. Who are they? Who are they? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me see. Let me look. Who are they, you all? Who are they? Will we have a social credit system? We really do have one right now, and it is that FICA score. You think it could evolve into something like this? Because they say, we have ways that we can increase our social credit, which is our social credit score. Oh my gosh. It works. What's it based on? It began, look, how does it work? This is how it began in China. This is where China is right now. This is where China is right now. And they started in the 80s, and now this is what happens with your bad credit score. Well, we started in the 80s also. Started in the 80s. So let's read about the thing about it, you all. Did I already mess it up? Hey, what happened? Did I just click myself out of it? I think I did. How did I click out of it? I saw it and I went into the other screen and now it's gone from this screen. Wait a minute. Look at this. When did credit score start? A brief look at the long history. Look, 1841, Mercantile was founded. A history of credit scores, 1989. Excuse me. When did they start? 1989. You are how on earth? I was getting ready to read that about China and how it started, and then it's like gone now. It's gone now, you all. Because it disappeared. It did. I went from I went from here, and it was going to tell how it actually started. Okay, here we go. It began with a focus on financial credit worthiness. That's what it is here right now. It began with a focus on financial worthiness, or credit worthiness, similar to credit scores used in Western countries. This is how China did. I think they were the ones who first started using it. And it moved into conclude compliance and legal violations. The eventual end state of the system is a unified record for people, businesses, and government, which can be monitored in real time. Look at the timestamp on it, you all. Monitored in real time. It started in the 80s, just like in the United States. It focused on financial credit worthiness, just like the United States. Financial credit worthiness. See, credit. Similar to the credit scores in Western countries. And now it moved to include compliance and legal violations. Compliance and legal violations. Okay, now this is the compliance. You will get increased audits. You will get government inspections on your businesses. You will get reduced employment prospects. You'll get travel bans, exclusion from private schools. You will get slow internet connection, exclusion from high prestige work, exclusion from hotels, and public shaming. This seems like it's something out of a movie. Was there a movie about this, you all? Was there some kind of sci-fi movie about something like that? Oh, the Borg Genesis? Is the Borg Genesis? Let me type in the Borg Genesis, you all. This is important because it started in China with credit worthiness, and it's now evolved to that. We've started here with the credit worthiness. Will it too evolve into that? Credit, okay. Borg Genesis. I don't. A newly discovered Borg DNA is unlike anything scientists. What are you talking about? How do we end up on a Borg DNA? Are extra chromosomal elements. The DNA sequences are found outside the chromosomes that lie within the nucleus. How did we end up on Borg DNA? How did we get from credit worthiness to Borg Genesis and the Borg's DNA if the Borg's not living? How on earth did we get over to the Borg and a social credit system? And violations. Really, this is important. Oh my goodness gracious. The Black Mirror, 1984. Well, we talked about the 1984. Huh? Well, they say they captured the Borg. They captured the Borg. I don't know what the Borg is. Homo Borg Genesis? Is there a poster? Oh. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about the Borg Genesis. Good morning. Good morning. We are human. You got the spirit inside of you, so you are human. You got a spirit, you got a soul. You're able to think for yourself. You're not dumbed down. Your vocabulary is still intact, although there was a comment this morning that people are struggling to find their words, like you're stumbling over your words. And I thought about it. I responded to that comment that it seems to be global. It's not an isolated incident. But then if it's global, how can it affect people's language? It's like simplifying the vocabulary, the grammar within the individual. But how could this be if it's turning into globally? Struggling to make complete sentences and stuff is like our human language being taken from us. Really think about it. Yes, a retrograde, the humans, but you're not sure about our ancestors. Yes. So we're talking about this secret. It's a big secret that started in China. It did. It began with a focus on financial creditworthiness, similar to credit scores used in Western countries, and it has now moved to include compliance and legal violations. And the eventual end state of the system is a unified record of people, businesses, and the government, which can be monitored in real time. Certainly, we don't got nothing like that. What on earth? They got global partners. Oh, what happens if I only have 39 credits for Social Security? Oh, is credit tied to your Social Security number? Since your Social Security number is so closely tied to your credit history, you may be wondering if changing your number would affect your credit score. It shouldn't, because the old and new numbers are cross-referenced to ensure earnings history and other financial information is not lost. I don't know about this right here. You currently have fewer than the 40 credits needed to become fully insured for retirement. You can still earn credits and become fully insured if you work. We cannot pay you benefits if you don't have enough credits. Well, that's interesting, because that's a credit thing too. And if you don't have the recommended amount of social credits, then they're not going to get to pay you benefits because you won't have enough credits. Well, I never thought of Social Security like that. I didn't. What does China use instead of credit cards? Well, they use cash. But I wanted to see who is tied in. Who are the global partners? Can I click into this? And I don't know nothing about it, but they seem to be setting the stage. They seem to have set the stage for credit. Oh, they just updated this one. They did. They just updated it. April the 6th. China's social credit system. Explain what is it and how does it work? It's a broad regulatory framework intended to report on the trustworthiness of individuals. You can't be trusted. If you can't be trusted, you're going to be in trouble in China. You're going to severely pay for it. Trustworthiness of individuals, corporations, governmental entities across China. In this introduction, we will explain what the China social credit system is, how it differs from the financial credit ratings elsewhere, and how it impacts on individuals and companies that operate with China. Oh, it's a holistic. They've given a new meaning to the word holistic. They have. Wow, never thought I'd see that word in The goal of the China social credit system is to provide a holistic assessment of an individual's or a company's trustworthiness. Wow. How can you integrate the word holistic in with that, you all? How can you? Good morning, you all. It's while still in development, it's arguably an extension of existing social credit ratings. If you're just tuning in, this is an important video. I got a red hat on. It's a secret. It's a big secret that's been happening since the 80s when the financial systems introduced in 89. Just like in China, it started off with a credit worthiness system and it now has evolved. It has evolved. Where are we at, you all? We're over here in China. We're taking a virtual trip to China. Look at this. The consequences of a poor social credit score could be serious. It may affect your travel prospects, employment, access to finance, ability to enter into contracts. On the other hand, a positive credit score could make a range of business transactions much easier. It is essential that any foreign business consolidating or establishing their presence in China seek professional advice for managing their credit score. This applies to both individual scores and the corporate social credit score, you all. 2022. Planning out for the construction of a social credit system, right there. And implementation for corporations. More than 33 million businesses in China have been given a score under some versions of the corporate social credit system. If you've got a company, do you have a social credit score? Does your company have a credit score, you all? Oh, look at this. In 2018, former U.S. Vice President Mike Pence sounded the alarm bells about China's social credit system, stating China rulers aim to implement an Orwellian system premised on controlling virtually every facet of human life, the so-called social credit score. Western media outlets have spoken of the senator's social credit system and a system of total control. Is there any truth to such rhetoric, and what does all of this mean for businesses expanding to China? In this article, we break down the China social credit as it has developed to date and aim to separate the myth from reality. Well, why on earth would Mr. Pence, Vice President Mike Pence, sound the alarm bells about a China social credit system, stating that China's ruler aimed to implement an Orwellian system? He must have read the book. He read the book. He read the book. He knows about it. He knows about it. He's not the only one that knows about it. An Orwellian system premised on controlling virtually every facet of human life with the so-called social credit score. Are we headed that way? He sounded the alarm bells in 2018, but in 2018, our world got flipped upside down. It got flipped upside down, you all, in 2018. Look, it's a diverse network of initiatives aimed at enhancing the amount of trust within the Chinese society. A high social credit score will be an indicator that you can be trusted. You can't be trusted. Monitored in real time. Let's come down to, they got it so long. You can see right here. I got to scroll all the way down. History of Chinese social credit system. Where on earth? It's infographic up here at the tippy top. It's dubbed the most ambitious experiment. Digital social control ever undertaken. The Chinese government plans to launch its credit system by 2020. It's digital. We are entering in a digital age. Well, how could you do this digitally unless you have digital systems controlling everything for you? You gain points and you can lose points. Oh, wow. A maximum of 1,300 points. You can engage in charity work to gain points, but if you got a traffic offense such as drunk driving and jaywalking, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. If you illegally protest against the authorities, you're going to lower your credit score. You are. And if you don't visit your aging parents regularly, you're going to lower your credit score. You're going to lower it. If you don't show some compassion, you're going to lower your credit score. Taking care of elderly and family members. Well, this should come naturally. It really should. And there's lots of people, you don't have to be told you got to engage in charity work or do things for other, like mow their grass or make a phone call. We don't need to be told that. We don't, because those of us who have a human spirit within our being, who have compassion and love, we're going to show that we truly do care through actions. So why do we need a credit system? You have to engage in charity work. Okay, I don't got a problem engaging in charity work. I don't. Because you can do it in your neighborhood. You can, more or less. You can do things for people without even having to be asked. This should come naturally. It should. Taking care of your elderly family members. There's plenty of people doing that here. Do they not do it everywhere, you all? Okay. Not visiting your aging parents, you're going to fall and you're going to get your credit score. You're going to get your credit score down. Positively influence one's neighborhood. Are you having a positive influence in your community, you all? Are you? Let's look about this, because this should be common sense. It really should be. It should be common sense. I can't believe what I'm reading. I can't. Oh my gosh. 1,300. Let's look at this, you all. You can gain points by engaging in charity work. You can, if you run a speed light or you walk across the street when you're not supposed to, and you might get ran over, you might become roadkill. If you illegally protest against authorities, you're going to get your credit score lowered. If you take care of your elderly family members, they're going to track you. They're going to make sure you went to visit your mom and your dad. Well, my husband's at his parents every other week. He spends the whole day with them. So he should have no problem doing that. I should have no problem that. You should have no problem with any of this, because you do it normally. You do it normally, you all. This is wild. Not visiting them. Positively influencing. This would really, let's look at this from a positively influencing one's neighborhood. If you think about it from a virtual point of view, when you come on YouTube channels and you make those horrific negative comments, calling Gina a bitch and f and whore, that I need to get off this effing platform like you did this morning. There's this one entity that comes, it makes an account, and it literally comes at me like this. It's like every week, the same entity, and I can feel its spirit. It got really angry that I read from the Bible, but it's always the same tone in the voice. Oh, it goes on and on and on. I just think, oh, you again. That's okay. I can take care of you, because you know what? You right there, you wouldn't even make it in China. You would not make it in China, because you are such a negative influence on this platform right here. Anyhow, this one right here is pure evil. So I report it every single time, and the individual has to keep making social media accounts. Every time it rears its ugly head, of course I'm going to go through there. I'm going to say boom, 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 because you're negative. You're evil. Are you going to stop me? No, I think, oh, you again. You know you're not welcome here. Okay, so you start with 1,000 points. Okay. Oh, now see, no, I don't want to, I don't do that. I don't do that, you all. You donate blood. Oh, some people can't donate blood. Okay. You praise the government on social media. You protest posting anti-government messages on social media. If you help the poor, this comes naturally. It does come naturally, helping those who are less fortunate. But if you spread rumors on the internet, you're going to get yourself in trouble. If you are insincere apologies for the crimes that you have committed, because how's it going to know if somebody's insincere? They're going to read your facial expressions. They are. They're going to read your facial expressions because they do have the technology to do it. They've been studying us, and they're going to look at your tone of voice. They are. They're going to analyze your tone and stuff. They're going to measure. It's the thought police. The thought police. They're going to get inside your body and measure whether or not your heart rate is going boom, 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 boom. Whether or not your blood pressure is rising, they're going to do it. They're going to know everything about you. It is really interesting, you all. If you're just tuning in, this is the big secret. And it looks like it is coming. Gina, you all, we got it. Let's look at this, you all. So you got to help the poor. You have to have a good financial credit history. You got to committing a heroic act. Wow, you all. It looks 600. You start at 600. That's the lowest score. Look, oh my gosh, you all who cheat on the online games. That is for you all who you get that word with friends and you get this cheating thing where you let it think up the words for you. You cheating, and that's how you win in those games. You all, they're going to be watching out for you. They're going to watch out for you because they know you're cheating, because you got this little app that you go to try to cheat people because you don't want to put forth the effort. You don't want to put forth the effort. You don't. Y'all, this is really wild. Oh, now this is where you're going to get yourself in trouble. I might get myself in trouble for this. If they consider Gina, honey, you're like a cult. Let me be a love cult. We can be a love cult. If you want to label me that, if I'm guilty of anything, it's going to be LOVE. It is love at the core of my being. And if love is against the law, then I stand guilty. Now I'm being honest, you all. If love and all the byproducts of love is against the law, then I stand guilty. I have always stood guilty since I first breathed my first breath of life on this earth. If love is going to be considered a cult, then I'm guilty I'm guilty as I entered this world in this human body. I am. So participating in anything that is determined to be a cult. Now, Gina, insincere apologies. No, I was very sincere. I was very sincere just then, you all. If you're going to say that I am like that, then I'm going to say I am guilty of love. It's like guilty of love in the first degree. That's me. It's always really been me. It's probably always been you too. You have love at the core of your being, and you're giving, you're kind, you're compassionate. You always look for the best in people. You want to see it, so you'll look really hard, and even though you won't find any, you'll pretend that you see it. So, sorry. It's kind of weird, you all. It really is kind of weird. But we're going through it because you may see that here in the United States of America. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. Okay, Gina. Okay, you all. My hat's coming off my head. My head's getting hot. Okay, I'm done with that. Okay, because I've already, that was important. It's important, you all. All right, you all. So I did not know that they had this. We're going to start from the bottom up. We're going to see how you're going to get yourself in trouble. How are you going to get yourself in trouble with this social credit system? Because this right here, you all, really, this is one of the biggest secrets. It started off with your credit score. That's how it started in China, with the credit score. It did. And now it has been legalized and it's regulated. And it started in the United States in the 80s too, the late 80s. And you are punished. You can't get a loan. If you got a bad credit score, you ain't getting no loan. You ain't getting no big brand new house. No, you're not. I'm sorry, if you lost your job and then you lost your house and you couldn't make your payments or you couldn't make your payments on anything, then your credit score is lowered and now you're punished. You're punished at no fault of your own. No fault of your own. It's like time and chance. It's like fish are caught in a cruel net, it says in the Proverbs, so men are trapped by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them. You're trapped by evil times at no fault of your own. Okay, I'm going to try not to. I'm just going to read it, and I'm not going to insert Gina. I'm going to try really hard not to insert anything from me, you all. This is really a big secret that is being unveiled because it started in the 80s, and it is literally being implemented in China. And it's very quite possibly that you're going to see it implemented here too. And it is a digital control system. And Mike Pence said, he warned about an Orwellian society. He warned about it. Okay. How does it work? So let's look at it again. You start from the bottom. At 600 is the lowest. If you commit a heroic act, something really, if you save somebody or you do something really wonderful, it's considered heroic. So you will get a higher credit score. But if you cheat on your online games, you're going to get in trouble. If you participate in anything deemed to be a cult, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get knocked down. If you have good financial credit history, you're going to get a good credit score. If you have an insincere apology for your crime that you committed, you're going to get you're going to get a credit score that's going to go down. If you help the poor, then it's going to make you look better. You see, you're going to look better. But if you spread rumors on the internet, no, you're going to get yourself in trouble. If you can praise your government on social media, you're going to get your point hired. If you post anti-government messages on social media, you're going to get your credit scored lower. People are seeing this. Gina, I'm not going to interject. I'll talk about it later. I'm not going to open, yeah. If you donate blood, you get your credit score hired. See, okay, you over here. If you positively influence, now you're above this is for the people who are above the 1,000 mark, I guess. You positively influence one's neighborhood, you get your credit scored higher. If you're not visiting your aging parents, you're getting a lower credit score. If you take care of the elderly family members, your credit score is going to get higher. If you illegally protest against the authorities, you're getting a lower credit score. If you have traffic offenses such as drunk driving or jaywalking, you're going to get a lower credit score. If you engage in charity work, you're going to get a higher credit score. And then you will get a maximum of 1,300 points, and you will be at the top of China's social credit system. Okay. If you have Facebook, you will notice that if you post something that is, let's see, spreading rumors or something on the internet, posting anti-government or stuff like that, posting something that they do not agree with, you are put down lower on the feed, on the social media platform, on the Facebook. You are, and they will punish you. Now, you won't be allowed to upload something for 30 days. You get yourself in trouble, and then you got to start all over again to get back up. Now, see, it's like me on Facebook. I can share a post on Facebook, and the more I interact, the higher on that feed they're going to put my posts because I'm engaging in a positive manner, but I don't got time to do it. I don't. I can go over there every now and then. I mean, I got 129,000 people. Now, granted, it don't reach that much people. And then like on here too, it is suggested on YouTube when I go to the comments, they have the comments on there that already predetermined comments, and you can reply with that. And They want you to. They want you to. I think it's a certain percentage of each video. So if you see that you got a YouTube channel and you see that the algorithms has put out these comments under the replies under certain comments, they want you to reply, because if you don't, I think it's going to lower you on the social media platform. I really do. So this is, it started with the credit score in China. It did. It started there. So this is what happens. The highest scores are concealed. Oh, highest scores can lead to priority for school admission. We already see it here. You got to be very prestigious to even get into the highest schools. Easier access to cash loans. It's true, if your credit score is high, you can get really easy access to loans. Deposit free bicycle and car hire. You can get a free bicycle. Well, we got bicycles. Do y'all got bicycles where you're at? Y'all, this is a very important video. It's like a big secret that's being revealed. It started in the 80s, and it's been going on and ever evolving. Do you got bicycles where you're at? Because in Jeffersonville, when you get close to the walking bridge, they have bicycles that you can rent. I guess you use a credit card or something. And they have the scooters that you can rent. They're electric bikes, but you can paddle it. They have things that you can rent. And you can leave your bicycle when it's powered by energy, I guess rechargeable. You can leave your scooter somewhere, just wherever it runs out of battery, and the people will come around and they'll pick it up. Okay. Facelift. Oh, no, it's not facelift, you all. Free gym faculties, you all. I thought it said facelift. I did. My glasses weren't seeing well through this thing, facelift. You're not getting a free facelift, you all. You don't need no facelift. You don't need a facelift. You will get cheaper public transport. You will get shorter wait times in hospitals. You will get fast track promotion at work. Wow. You will have a jumping the queue for public housing. That is true. That's true, you all. And you will get tax breaks. Wow. You understand that, you all? I can see some of that has already been implemented. And you may be noticing, well, that some of that's already going on. Really, this is really a big secret. I'm sorry this video is long. I really am. On a Saturday, but we need to know. We really do. Susan Honey, are you on here too, Apple Brooks Honey, or just Susan B Honey? How we doing? Do we need more moderators or something on here? Are you okay? Because I haven't been looking at it, you all. I haven't. Because I know this is a very important video. You can have an opinion on here, but please don't do no speaking down to me, disrespectful stuff. We need more moderators on here, Susan B Honey. Are you doing okay? You doing okay? I'll pause for your response. Okay, thank you, Susan B Honey. So this is interesting. It really is. High scores. It's really sad if you think about it. It's sad that people have to be told. Now I'm looking at it from a spiritual point of view, from a loving point of view, I really am. I'm looking at this from eyes of love. It's sad that people have to be told to, engage in charity work or whatever, help your neighbor, go mow their grass, encourage your children, to go trim their plants, take care of your aging parents. Really, they took care of you all your years. They did. And I know it's difficult, you all. It is to make time in a world where time is the most important thing that we have to offer people. It really is. It's not the money, they want your time. It's sad that you have to be told, or you can be rewarded for it. You can be rewarded. But this is what it's come to. Positively influencing one's neighborhood. Let's talk about this. How about positively influencing your workplace? Because I walked off of 3 jobs at the same place. 3 jobs at the same place. because of the negative atmosphere, the speaking down to me, speaking behind my back, because I was a good worker, because I took pride in my work, because I was who I was. The jealousy created a hostile environment, a very negative environment. They didn't like me because they didn't like me on the inside. I'm an easygoing person. I'm laid back. I'm happy. Okay, so these people who do that in the workplace, you're going to get yourself in trouble, especially if they start coming in and they're monitoring your workplace atmosphere. And if you're allowing that stuff to go on in your workplace, you all think about it. If you're a supervisor, if you're upper management, mid-management, and you're allowing stuff like this to go on in your workplace, you're turning a blind eye because they got something on you. They're going to tell on you if you tell on them. If they start monitoring, you're going to find yourself in a whole lot of trouble, and you are going to get rated. Your business, it's going to look really bad on you. Okay. So yeah, you can influence your neighborhood. We don't even get out. We're being shut-ins, you all. Okay, I don't do that, you all. I can't. Some people will pass out, and you may have problems where you can't. You may not weigh enough or anything. I don't know if I don't praise the government on social media. I don't need to praise the government on social media. If I see something that's good, I don't care where it's from, and it resonates with my spirit, I'm going to speak up and say, I think that's really good. It's really good to encourage people to be good. It is. We need more encouragement. We need more love in this world, you all. We really do. And how is that possible if the human spirit is void? Can you program an individual to be loving and kind when they have a spirit within them that might want to do the exact opposite? That would kind of be really hard, because then you got a war. It's like the Apostle Paul. When I want to do good, evil is right there with me. For in my inner mind, in my inner being, I delight in God's law. But I see another law at work within the members of my body, waging war against the law of my mind and making me a prisoner of the law of sin and death within me. He goes on to say, what a wretched man I am. More or less, when he wants to do good, evil is right there, right there. Evil is right there, trying to keep him from doing the good that he wants to do. And you've noticed it. So helping the poor, you shouldn't have to be told to help those who are less fortunate. But we live in a world, you all, we're just going to face it. Let's face it. We live in a world where it's all about me. It's all about what I can get. I work hard for this money. I work hard for everything I got. And that's true. Some people work really hard for what they got, and they deserve it, while others sit by and they do nothing. They want everything handed to them on a silver platter. They do. There's nothing wrong with hard work. I think if you work hard, you should be rewarded for your hard work, because there's others who won't. And then there's others who used to be able to, and now they can't because, they may be disabled. Something happened and they no longer can do that. That's a difference, but they did. And if they could, they would. They would do what they could do. There's nothing wrong with helping the poor, but some people refuse to do that. I used to hear this. It's their own fault. If people are poor, it's their own fault. It was a blanket statement. If people are without, it's their own fault. There was no compassion, no nothing. And I'm sitting there thinking, how can you put everybody in that category? It's their own fault. No, it's not always their own fault. Can you better yourself? Yeah, I came from the projects. A lot of other people came from the projects. And what happened? We were low income, extremely poor. But guess what? The next generation, we all rose above it. We worked our way out of it. Did what we needed to do to be successful in life, to be good people, because you had the good in you to begin with. And, we were taught, So this is interesting about you all. This is really cool. Commit a heroic act, you all. How on earth are you going to commit a heroic act if you're not in the right place at the right time? The right place at the right time. You ain't going to be able to create. Oh, you all, I'm sorry. I didn't get to, I talked about the pros, but this is the downside. When you are all anti whatever, when you be a bad girl or bad boy, this is what's going to happen. This is your punishment. Denial of your driver's license, permits, access to social services. Your punishments for breaking these laws. This is rules and regulations. Denial of licenses, permits, and access to some social services. This is going to get people a lot. This is going to get you in trouble if you are a bad girl or a bad boy. And you are spewing that anger, you're spewing that hate, you're going around jaywalking, you're drunk and driving, you doing all this kind of stuff. You're not out there doing what you should do, caring for the poor, visiting your aging parents, go mowing your neighbor's yards, calling a phone call, talk to them. You may not be able to get on your social media and look at Gina Honey on here. You may not, because you've been a bad girl or bad boy. If I do that, you won't see me on here. Gina Honey, that love inside of you is considered cult-like. Sorry, you are a big offender. I stand guilty. The day that love becomes considered a cult, and all the byproducts of it, the compassion, it's like the fruit of the Spirit, you all. The fruit of the Spirit. Let me see this. Fruit of the Spirit. I'm going to just put it in layman's terms. Fruit of the Spirit. Can I do this, you all? It's Easter weekend. It's, yeah. Let me see. What are the 12 fruits of the Spirit? Let me just do it like, oh, you all, this is cool. I like it. We're going to do a visual. I like doing visuals. So let's see the fruits of the Spirit. So the fruits of the Spirit, which some people, it's kindness, it's generosity, it's joy, it's charity, self-control, faithfulness, gentleness, goodness, chastity, peace, patience, and modesty. That's fruits of the Spirit. But if you come over here, what's at the tippy top of that? What is at the tippy top and the trickle-down effect? I like that. I really like that picture right there. I like that picture of the fruits of the Spirit. You know what I think I'd like to do? I like to print it off and hang it on my wall. I like that. Let's look at it. It all stems from love. Love. Let's see. Love. No, you all. Gina, can you get yourself together? I can. Okay. Love seeks the higher good of others. Joy is gladness that is not based on circumstances. Peace is contentment, unity between people. Patience, slow to speak and slow to anger. Kindness is merciful, sweet, and tender. Goodness is generous and open-hearted. Faithfulness is dependable, loyal, and full of trust. Gentleness is humble, calm, non-threatening. Self-control is behaving well. Love is at the top of the pyramid. The fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit. So if you see all the byproducts, it's a trickle-down effect. It truly is a trickle-down effect. But if you are none of those things, if you're not exercising these things, which theirs is totally different, if you don't abide by this credit thing, you're going to get exclusion from flights on airplane and high-speed transit. You will get less access to your credit. You will get restricted access to public services. You will be ineligible for government jobs. You will have no access to private schools. And you will publicly get shamed. Exposure either online or on TV screens in public spaces of the names, the photos, ID numbers, and blacklisted. citizens. Phone dial tones mandated by authorities that inform people that they are calling a dishonest debtor. Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing right here, you all. Right here. The worst thing. Okay, so will they do this? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they will do that. You will be. Do they not do it now in some form? When something happens and you break the law or they accuse you of doing something, they take a mugshot of you and they put that on the TV, even though you are really they put your name and picture and they publicly shame you. They do publicly shame you, and it may be for something horrific and it may be for something kind of minor. Um, Now it's going to be, if you don't visit your aging parents and if you spread rumors on the internet, and if you are insincere when you apologize, you're going to get yourself in trouble. I can see my mugshot now. Gina Maria Colvin Hill is going to be publicly shamed. I'm going to have my picture on the social media, TV screens, in public places with my ID numbers. I'm going to be a blacklisted citizen because I was insincere for apologizing, in my apologizing of being myself on the inside, for being loving and kind. You may be one if you are cheating on your online game, and they're going to put your mug shot up there and everybody's going to look at you on the TV screen. This person cheated on their ward with friends. You want to be your name up there for cheating on wards with friends, you all? Oh my gosh, you all. Now they could do that. Then you're going to be blacklisted and you ain't going to get, well, I don't send my kids to private schools anyway. I didn't. I pulled them out of school. I did. And homeschooled them. My son was in the 5th grade. My daughter was in the 8th grade. That was in Hawaii. They had terrible schools there. I could not believe it. My daughter, when she'd go to school, even ride the bus on Hickam Air Force Base, sat there and they would pull her hair. She'd sit in class and they would talk about the most inappropriate, implicit things behind her back about what they do. And taunted every day and pulling her hair even in the classroom, and the foul language. And my son, the same thing in the 5th grade. You all, it was horrible. I pulled my kids out of school. They were happy to be pulled out, and I homeschooled them. And when we left Hawaii in 2004, I continued it. And I did yearly assessments. I would go get the assessment tests for private schooling that you can do for your children to make sure you're teaching them what they need to learn. I would do it sometimes twice a year, and I would give the records to the school system so they can see how well my children excelled in those areas. But then when we moved back to here, 2005, boom, cancer. I still homeschooled my children, and I wanted them to have a good life. I really did. I wanted them to learn. I put my son in school at a technical college. After he got his GED, he scored higher than the high school students. When my son went in to get his GED, him and his friend, they were homeschooled too. I said, I want to test them for their GED. My son was like 15 or so, because you can. And the guy did not even want to give the assessment to my son, did not want to, or his friend, because I homeschooled them. I said, can you please give them the assessment? And he did. And you know what? When they took the assessment that day, he came back to me that day, because I waited. He apologized for insinuating that my children, my son and his friend, would not pass it. He insinuated, he said, I am so sorry. He goes, they scored way above the high school students, way above it. So yeah, I put my son in college, in the technical college, so he can get into Ivy Tech at around 15 and a half, so he could still do his homeschooling and take college level classes, you all. I didn't know what happened to me with the cancer and stuff, but I wanted to make sure he had it. Put my children in technical schools, or, you know, you do what you have to do, you all. Yeah, just because you homeschool your children don't mean they're going to be illiterate. No, no, it doesn't. So, yeah. How did we get on the school system, you all? Oh, private schools. Yeah, it's okay, you all. It really is. So this is real, and I'm done talking. You can find this on right here. You can find the website right here. It's called nhglobalpartners.com, China Social Credit System Explained. You can find it right like that. And it's the background. Oh, look at this, you all. The history of background of Chinese social credit system, formally announced in 2014 with their social credit system. Look, Confucianism, a holistic conception of human nature, Mohism, legalism, arguably legalism won out. It won out in the dynasty, the 20th century. Look at that timeline of the social credit system. Mid-90s, the first credit database was constructed. 99, 2004, 2006, 2007, 2009, 2013, Supreme People's Court. We have a Supreme Court too. They're all based on the same system. Look, debtor blacklist established. 2007, 8.8 million debtors had been added to the list. 2014, release of key planning coordinations. 2015, National Credit Information Sharing. 2016, progression on the black list and the red list. Oh, you got a red list. Wow. The red list became ubiquitous across the government departments, more than 50 in operation. 2018, model city trials. Model cities with a comprehensive grading, a reward and punishment system. 2019, towards AI. Towards AI. That's not OWL. That's not OWL. That's AI. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Construction. Oh, construction. 2020, implications and further standardization. And here we are now. Here we are now, you all. FICO score. In some trials, this has involved a single numerical score between 1 and 1,000 FICO score and a letter grade of A to D, just like in schools. You get an A or you get a B, C, or D. Wow, you all, look at that. Is that not wild? Look at that, your school grades. How does it work? That is an eye-opener. That is an eye-opener. You get on your paper, it starts off like percent, you get an 85, and then, wow. Really, think about it. Since you were a child, since you were a child, when did they first start giving grades out to people? Really think about it. When did they first start giving grades in schools? When did that occur? When did schools start giving grades? When were school grades first invented? Okay, this is 1883. A reference to a student making a B What was the original purpose? It's a grading system, determining shoes, and I don't know, let me see. Where did the 100-point scale come from? 1837. The rubric. A rubric. Is it like a Rubik cube? Okay, well, this is like, why are grades A through F? 1930s, letter-based system grew more and more, omitting the E, in fear that students and parents might misinterpret it as excellent. Wow. So, that's fine. So, A to D. This is the big secret. This is the big secret that's been here for a while. Yeah, this is an important video, and I apologize. It's so long. I really do. I am sincere. I am. Because some people don't have time to watch long videos. And you can fast forward me to, in the settings, you can fast forward Gina to 2.0, and I will not even know about it. And you can listen to me on fast speed, and you can cut down that time on the video. You just fast forward me to even like a, I don't know, 1.5, 1.75, and a 2.0. I won't even know about it, you. I won't. Gina, but you might get upset. I'm not going to know anything, you all, whether you watch me or not. I'm not going to know. I'm not going to know, you all. That's all right. You can do it. You can. Jill Harding, honey. Look at this. It's important to note that businesses get scores. They may decrease based on the behavior of their partners. If you are associated with a business that has a low credit score, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You need to think carefully about who you do business with in China. It's like now, you be careful, you all, who you associate with in real life. Your parents always told you, you stay away from that person. They're bad news. Stay away from them. They're bad news. Your parents knew, they did. Or you tell your children, no, there's something about that kid. Look what they're doing. I don't want my child doing that. I do not want my child doing that. Stay away from them. You let your children hang around the wrong type of influence, you're going to get whatever you consume. Let's think about this. Whatever goes in, whatever you feed the most, it's going to come out of you. It's going to come out of you. It is. Whatever you garbage in, garbage out. Really. Garbage in, garbage out. It's true. If you focus on the good all the time, you just focus on the love and you just positive stuff and things, oh, you're going to have that type of outlook. You are. You really are. But if I was to go and listen to negativeness all the time and a certain type of a mindset, certain platforms, certain speakers, before long, I'm going to think like them. I'm going to think like them. I'm going to act like them. If I'm going to be influenced by somebody or something, it's going to be in a good way. It's truly going to be in a way that's going to help me grow on the inside of me. It's going to help me grow. And I want to grow in a good way. I don't want to grow in a bad way. I don't want to. Could you imagine if you turn this YouTube on? All of a sudden, this Gina, who's all kind and loving, Gina, you are not. You know you're not. You're deceitful. No, I'm not. That's the negative. It's the negative. You've been listening to the wrong people. Could you imagine I come on here? So all you hear is negative, continually negative, and I'm bad-mouthing. I'm talking down about everybody. I don't have nothing good to say. Oh, you're thinking, Gina, I thought I could come here and listen to you. You always are positive and stuff, but here for the past few months, you've been spewing out nothing but negative, and I feel even worse listening to you. I wouldn't listen to me. I stay away from negative people, you all. I do. I don't want to hear it. And I am guilty of saying, do you have, if I'm around somebody and they're being negative, I'm said, you know what? All I have heard come out of your mouth is negative, negative, negative. Do you have anything positive to say? Well, I want you to realize what's going on in the world. I am totally aware of what's going on in the world, and there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, but I am choosing not to focus on that because I'm not even going to be able to enjoy my life if I set dwelling on all the negative things that are happening in the world. I'm not going to be any good for myself. I'm not going to be good company for myself. I'm not going to be good company for others. I'm not going to be any good because all I'm thinking on is the negative. My energy is going to go spiraling down. No, you become what you're around. Whatever you consume is going to come out of you. You are really, truly. And it's sad that we have to be told to have the fruits of the Spirit. Let me screenshot it. I'm going to screenshot it, you all. I know you're sitting down there looking at the black screen. Well, this is the black screen up there. How about you look up there at the top? You look up there at the beams in the ceiling, and we'll just go on here. That's me. We can look at the fruit of the Spirit. We're going to end it here, you all, with the fruit of Spirit. We can truly, you'll know them by their fruit. You will know them by their fruit. Gina, I don't know what's on the inside of you. I don't know what type of person. Do you got Jesus on the inside of you, Gina? You got God living on the inside of you, Gina? Do you got love living on the inside of me? My response is, you will know them by their fruit. If you're going to come on here and ask me, Gina, do you got this? Gina, do you got that? You're not interested in what's coming out of me. You're only interested in what you want to hear. You want to make me say what you want me to say, and then I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. You'll know them by their fruit. The fruit of the Spirit. At the top of this right here, because it's a trickle-down effect, is love. Love seeks the highest good of others, joy, gladness that is not based on circumstances, peace, contentment, unity between people, patience, slow to speak and slow to anger, kindness, merciful, sweet, and tender, goodness, generous and open-hearted, faithfulness, dependable, loyal, and full of trust, gentleness, humble, calm, non-threatening, self-control, behaving well. Now, it does go by other things, love, joy, patience, kindness, but we got to have love on the inside. You ain't going to have any of that other stuff if you don't got love. You ain't. You're not going to have no self-control because you'll be out of control. You will be out of control and you'll be spewing out hate and all this kind of stuff. You want to be going after people. That's right, I'm going to go. I've run my mouth. This was a very important video. It was because we talked about the big secret, and it's been here for a long time, and it originated with your credit score. Your credit score, which originated in China, which is some form of it in all parts of the world. It is, and they got a thing where you're going to abide by the law. You got the rules and regulations. I like rules. I do. I don't think people should be allowed to go out and be mean and hateful. I don't think people should be allowed to come on my platform and call me a F and bitch that I need to go down because I'm a F and a WHORE and all this kind of stuff. Spew out hate. No, I want rules. I want regulations that are going to stop that type of negativeness, the attacks, okay, because it's hateful. And it doesn't come from love. It doesn't. So I'm for stuff like that to an extent. To an extent. I don't think you should be allowed to be full of hate. No, Even though you may be that way, I don't think it should be allowed. It should not, no, such hate. You can get your message out, and you can get it out in a loving, a kind way, and it can reach a lot more people instead of name-calling people, calling them bad things, and just, yeah. But to each their own. I'm going to choose the path of peace. But I am a warrior. I am a warrior, you are. Don't look at Gina and think she's just a little wimpy woman. Do I look like a wimpy woman? No. I got a warrior on the inside of me, right here. I got a warrior on the inside of me, just like a lot of other people who have love at the core of their being. Love is very powerful. It's the most powerful force on the face of the earth. You all it is. That's it. So I'm going to go. Thank you. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Oh, it's okay if you're late. You arrived exactly when you meant to. You did. It's okay. You can do a Gina 2.0. Fast forward me, skip through it. Take your time. I won't even know. I won't even know. I won't. I won't. That's right. You are. You got it. Thank you, Susan B. Honey. Yeah. That's right. We got to bring out that warrior on the inside of us. We got to stand up against the wickedness in this world. And we can be true to our nature. We can. True to the nature of what's inside of us. Right there. Love you.